Here's a number that ought to stop you. 58%, $680,000 nest egg at risk, of retirees say they're scared to spend their own savings. Not scared they don't have enough, folks. Scared to touch what they already got sitting there. And I'll bet you something. If you're over 55 right now, some piece of that is you. You worked 40 years building that pile. Every raise, every bonus, every vacation you didn't take. Now somebody hands you the keys and says, go ahead, spend it. And your gut says, absolutely not. That ain't a math problem, folks. 40 years of saving. Don't switch off, 'cause a calendar page turned. But here's what nobody tells you. The fear ain't the real problem. The real problem is your money don't have a job. A paycheck had a job. It showed up the 15th and the 30th, and you knew exactly what it was for. A pile of savings? That's just a number on a screen that goes up and down and makes you nervous. So today, I'm going to show you how to give that money a job again. 3 buckets, each one with a different assignment. I'm Earl. 30 years I've watched how retirees actually live with their money. Not the brochure version, the real one. Stay with me through all 3, 'cause bucket 3 is the one that answers the question keeping most of you up at night. And I'll tell you straight up what that question is. What happens if I need care? If you're over 55, tap subscribe before we get into it. This is the stuff nobody covers at the retirement seminar. Now, let me tell you about Wayne and Judy, 'cause some of you met 'em before. Wayne's age 66, Judy's age 64. Between them, they got $680,000. Your tears for dollars. $420,000 in Wayne's 401k. $160,000 in a brokerage account. $100,000 sitting in savings. Social Security brings in $3,200 a month between the two of them. Their bills run about $5,800 a month. House is paid off. No car note. No credit cards. So there's a gap. $2,600 a month that's gotta come from somewhere. $2,600 a month is $31,200 a year out of $680,000. That's 4.6%. And Judy said the thing I hear from damn near everybody. She said, Earl, we can't take that much, can we? Here's what was really going on. Wayne had been retired 14 months, and they'd pulled out almost nothing. They were living on the Social Security and eating cereal for supper twice a week, with $680,000 in the bank. That's the fear, folks. And it ain't stupid. It's just pointed at the wrong thing. So we gave their money 3 jobs. Bucket 1, Bucket 2, Bucket 3. Let's walk through them. Bucket 1. This is the paycheck bucket. And this is the one that fixes the fear. Here's the job. 2 years of your spending gap, sitting in cash. Nothing fancy. Money market, high-yield savings, short CDs. For Wayne and Judy, that's $2,600 a month. Times 24 months. $62,400. And then you do the part almost nobody does. You set up an automatic transfer. First of every month, $2,600 moves from that bucket into their checking account. Automatic. Like clockwork. Wayne told me later that was the single biggest thing we did. Not the investments, the transfer. 'Cause now it ain't a withdrawal, folks. It's a paycheck. Same money. Completely different feeling. His brain stopped seeing a shrinking pile and started seeing the 15th and the 30th again. And here's the part that matters when the market drops. That bucket buys you 2 years of not caring. Market falls 30% in October. You don't sell a thing. You got 24 months of groceries already parked in cash. Drop a comment below right now. How many months of cash do you keep right now? 6 months or 2 full years like Wayne? Be honest. That's 1 down. 2 to go. And bucket 2 is where the income actually gets made. Now hold on. before we go there, I know exactly what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, Earl, that's fine, but what if I need long-term care? Then none of these buckets matter. And you'd be right to ask, 'cause that's the real fear underneath the fear. Let me give you the straight numbers. Assisted living runs about $6,200 a month nationally. That's $7,400 a year. A semi-private nursing home room, $315 a day. $115,000 a year, roughly. Those are real numbers, and they're scary. But here's the two things nobody puts next to them. Number one, about a third of folks turning 65 today will never need long-term care at all. Not one day of it. Number two, for the ones who do, the average is around 3 years. Not 20, 3. So the picture in your head, the one where care eats every dollar for the rest of your life, that ain't the common case. It happens. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you it don't. But it ain't the default. And here's the thing that ought to actually change how you think about it. Underspending for 25 years to protect against a 3-year risk? That's paying a premium of 25 years of your life. Tell me in the comments, have you ever seen a family member go broke paying $6,200 a month for care? Type paycheck below if you want my one-page bucket worksheet. You're not avoiding the loss, folks. You're just taking it early, in small pieces, and calling it being careful. Bucket 3 deals with the care question directly. We'll get there, but it don't require freezing Bucket 1. All right. Bucket 2, the income engine. This is where the money grows a paycheck instead of just sitting. Job of this bucket: produce cash without you having to sell anything at a bad time. Because the worst thing you can do is sell your growth assets in a down market just to cover groceries. Wayne and Judy put $340,000 here. Half their money, give or take. And it's split 3 ways: dividend stocks, a bond ladder, and a slice of plain broad market index. Let's do the dividend piece first, because that's what everybody asks about. A dividend ETF like the big Schwab one yields right around 3% these days, roughly 3.1. $130,000 in there throws off about $4,000 a year. That's $330 a month. Now here's the move most folks miss. Most people have those dividends set to reinvest automatically. That made sense when you were 50. You're retired now. Turn it off. Send those dividends to Bucket 1 instead. Now they're refilling your paycheck bucket every single quarter. That's a real paycheck. You didn't have to sell a single share to get. Next piece, the bond ladder. And this one sounds fancier than it is. You buy bonds that mature in different years. One in 2027, one in 2028, one in 2029, on down the line. Every year one of them comes due and hands you your money back. That money walks straight into Bucket 1. Wayne put $130,000 into a 5-rung ladder. $26,000 coming due every year. And here's why a ladder beats just buying a bond fund. A ladder gives you a date. Bond fund goes down when rates go up, and you just gotta sit there. A ladder? You hold to maturity, and you get your face value back. We're halfway. And here's a good moment to remember where your money is. Remember that $62,400 paycheck bucket we set up for Wayne? That's sitting safe, while everything in Bucket 2 does the heavy lifting. Last piece of Bucket 2, then we go to Bucket 3. The remaining $80,000 goes into a plain broad market index fund. That's the growth piece. It don't pay you much, maybe 1.5%. That ain't its job. Its job is to still be there in 15 years when $80,000 needs to have turned into $160,000. 'Cause here's a number folks forget. Wayne's 66. There's a real chance one of them sees 90. That's a 24-year retirement. Groceries in year 24 cost damn near double what they cost today. 2 down, folks. 1 to go. If you set your Dividend ETF to pay out instead of reinvest, you're already saving yourself $330 a month. That's $3,960 a year straight into your pocket. And Bucket 3 is the one we've been circling this whole time. Bucket 3. Call it the just-in-case bucket. This is where the care question gets its own money. And here's the whole idea. So listen close. You don't protect against care by freezing everything. You protect against it by walling off a piece and then letting the rest of your money do its job. Wayne and Judy put $280,000 in Bucket 3, mostly in Wayne's 401k, left alone to grow. $280,000 covers about 3.5 years of assisted living at today's prices. Remember the average? Around 3 years. So that bucket covers the common case with room to spare. And if they never need it, it goes to the kids. That's not a waste, folks. That's the whole point of insurance you self-fund. Now there's 3 more things about Bucket 3 that most folks never hear. Quick ones. First, Medicare does not pay for long-term care. Not the kind we're talking about. And if you don't know that today, you could be in for the most expensive surprise of your retirement. It covers up to 100 days of skilled nursing after a hospital stay. And days 21 through 100, you're paying $217 a day. Help with bathing, dressing, eating. That's called custodial care. And Medicare pays $0. That one surprises people every single time, and it's the most expensive surprise in retirement. Second thing, if one spouse needs care and the other one's still at home, the healthy spouse ain't left with nothing. There's a spousal protection rule. In most states, the at-home spouse keeps up to $162,660 in assets. And in most states, the house is protected too, up to a big equity limit. Judy don't get put on the street. Third thing, your house is Bucket 3's backup. Wayne and Judy's place is worth $310,000, free and clear. That's a real asset sitting there. If care runs long, the house is the last card, and it's a big one. So add it up. $280,000 in Bucket 3, plus a $310,000 house free and clear. That's $590,000 of care capacity. And none of it at risk of being wiped out by a single bad market year. That's their care plan. And notice what it does not require. It don't require them eating cereal for supper at 66. That's all 3, folks. Paycheck Bucket, Income Engine, Just-in-Case Bucket. $62,000 in cash, $340,000 working, $280,000 walled off, $680,000 with 3 jobs. And your $2,600 a month shows up on the first, automatic, whether the market's up or down or sideways. You don't have to check a ticker to know if you can buy groceries this month. Now let me tell you what actually happened to Wayne and Judy, because the numbers ain't the good part. 8 months in, Judy called me. They'd booked a trip. 14 days, the 2 of them. First real vacation since 2019. She said, "Earl, we could have done this last year. We just didn't know we were allowed to." That right there is the cost of not having a system. It ain't measured in dollars, folks. It's measured in years you don't get back. And here's the part that gets me. Wayne's account balance today is higher than the day he retired, by over $18,000. That's $18,000 saved that he would have lost to bad timing if he didn't have a system. He's been taking $2,600 a month for a year and a half, and the pile went up. The system did what it was built to do. That happens more than you think. Most retirees who follow a system end up spending less than they safely could. So, if you're sitting there tonight with money in the bank and cereal on the table, hear me. The problem probably ain't your balance. The problem is your money don't have a job. Pick one thing this week. Just one. Open the second account and name it. Call it Paycheck. Move 2 years of your gap into it and set the transfer for the first of the month. That's it. That's the whole first step. You don't need a new advisor for that. You don't need a new product. You need one afternoon and a nickname on an account. And here's our word today. If you want my one-page bucket worksheet, the one Wayne filled out at his kitchen table, type the word paycheck in the comments. One word, paycheck. I'll get it to you. If this one landed somewhere true, do me a favor and tap that like button. It's the only way YouTube knows to show this to another retiree who needs it. And if you ain't subscribed yet, come on board. I put out real retirement talk every couple days. No hype, no fear, no selling. Now tell me this one, just for fun. What's the first thing you'd book if the money showed up automatic on the first? I want to hear it. And be honest with me. How long since you took a real vacation? Judy said 2019, and she wasn't proud of it either. Give your money a job, take the paycheck, and go live the thing you saved for. This is Earl. Take care of yourselves, folks.